If you wanna have a quick glow up, this is the fastest way to do it. Follow these 7 tips and you will be getting your spark back. You will be feeling like yourself again, and you're gonna look like your most radiant, glowy, best self. Hello, my loves, and welcome. Today, we are talking about something very important and something that feels super relevant to what I'm currently going through and something in my life right now, which is all around tips for getting out of a funk and gaining your spark back, getting your glow back, and ultimately feeling like you're like yourself again, because there's no worse feeling, to be honest, than not feeling like yourself and just feeling like your shine, like your spark is just dying a little bit, honestly. If you feel similarly, if you feel like you're in a funk, follow these 7 tips and you will be getting your spark back. Number 1, you have to let go of the things that are no longer serving you for making space for the things that are actually going to serve you. Because here's the thing, you guys, if you are constantly holding on to things that are no longer serving you, that is like energetic dead weight. Think about what it looks like when you have a 15-pound weight on your shoulders. That is just gonna keep dragging you down and down and down and down in the mud, and it's gonna be harder for you to do anything, right? That is the same thing in our life. The more we're holding on to dead weight, I'm just gonna put it like that, energetic dead weight, things that are no longer serving us, people that are no longer serving us, living situations that are no longer serving us, identities, mindsets, beliefs that are no longer serving us, you are gonna continue to get dragged in the mud. You're gonna continue to feel heavier, like literal energetic dead weight. And here's the thing, you always know when it's time to let something go. Deep down, you know. You probably already are thinking about something, right? As I'm talking about this, you know deep down what it is you need to let go of. It's just fear that's stopping you from actually doing it, right? You can be honest with yourself. Maybe take a minute to like meditate on it, to think about it, journal on it, but you always know when it's time to let something go, whether it's a job, a relationship, whatever the case might be. And if you continue to hold on to it longer than it's meant for you, it's gonna continue to hold you back, because I know it, because I was there. I just stayed in situations for too long because it was comfortable, and I didn't realize at the time that it was actually holding me back in all areas of my life, in my work, in my creativity, in my dating life, and everything. And so if you're listening to this right now, remind yourself that it is literally energetic law that you cannot create space for new, amazing, abundant things to flow in if you are still holding on to things that are no longer serving you. Number 2, this one's super important because it's a big reminder that in order to be our best selves, we need to be happy. So my second tip is to do the things that make you happy again, as simple as it sounds. I know for me personally, I am not my best self if I'm not happy. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the past few months, I found myself not taking the best care of myself. I would sometimes slack on the journaling and meditation. I was just slacking on my routine, right? And I think that was probably because I was stressed and I was going through a lot, and I made excuses of like, oh, I don't have time, or I don't feel like it, without me realizing that those are the times that I need it the most. And so now I'm making it number 1 priority to do the things that make me happy, such as going on daily walks. It's a must. Every morning I put on my gym shoes, I put on a workout set, and I'm just going outside. Even if it's for just 10-15 minutes, getting the sunlight on my face and my skin, looking at something that's not a screen is so important for me. Working out also increases my happiness. Endorphins, let's go, baby. Journaling, meditation, the things that just make me feel good and grounded. That's important. Calling my friends, calling my family, being social, meeting new people. Our social health is just as important as all areas of our health. So whatever that looks like for you, you have to make sure you're doing the things that make you happy. Number 3, this one also goes into number 2, movement, movement, movement. If you are in a funk, if you are feeling stagnant, if you are not feeling like yourself, it is time to move that stale ass, stagnant energy out of the body. Of course, we know that exercise is good for our mental health, but I don't think people realize how important movement is for our energetic health. Energy flows throughout the body, right? Energy and emotions flow throughout the body. And the less that you move, the more you're holding on to stale energy and stale emotions that might just need movement to literally move it throughout the body. Because here's another thing, our breath is what moves stale energy throughout the body. So that's why breath work, if you are doing an intense breath work session, you can get emotional. I've gotten emotional during breath work sessions, like without even consciously realizing it, like you start crying because breath is what moves energy through the body. And that's the same thing when you're really working out heavily, when you're breathing a lot, you know, doing yoga, you're going for a run, you're lifting weights, whatever kind of exercise you like, that breath, that movement is physically and with your breath moving stale energy and emotions throughout the body. Number 4, it's time to do the things that you said you were going to do. It is so incredibly important, you guys, to keep the promises that you make with yourself in order to have a better relationship with yourself, in order to have confidence, in order to feel good about yourself. I started getting in such a deep funk because I wasn't doing the things I said I was gonna do. I said I was gonna move out and I was gonna do all these things for so long, and because I stayed stuck and comfortable and I didn't do it, it was like each day that passed, it just got tougher and tougher and tougher, and the more I fell into this funk. And I think a lot of us do this even unconsciously, right? We say, oh, we're gonna go to the gym every day this week. Oh, we're gonna do this thing. Oh, we're gonna do that thing. And we make these promises to ourselves and we don't realize how much of a negative impact it can have on our self-esteem if we don't complete them. Because the way our brain sees it is that if we say we're gonna do something and we don't do it, that's like a point against us, because then our brain sees ourselves as untrustworthy, just like a friend would see us. If we say we're gonna do something, we don't do it, then it's like, oh, she's not trustworthy. That must mean she actually can't do the things that, you know, she says she's gonna do. And then over time, it compounds. It's like a compounding effect. So then if you don't do one thing that you said you're gonna do, and then you don't do the next thing, and then you don't do the next thing, and then you do the next thing, you have no trust with yourself, which therefore drastically decreases your self-esteem and your self-confidence, which then will lead you more into a funk. So the way out of this vicious cycle is to start creating promises to yourself that are attainable, that are small. You have to start by actually completing one promise to yourself, and then you can work your way up further and further and further and further and further. But you can't make these grandiose statements and then not complete them, because over time it's just going to continue to lower your self-esteem. So I would even take some time to maybe journal on this, of like, what promises am I making to myself that I'm not delivering on, and how can I start to actually take action on the things I said I'm going to do in a small, sustainable way. You can also take big action steps, right? Like even me moving and just finally doing this has already created and shifted such a new window of confidence within myself, because I'm like, damn, if I can do this, if I can dive right head first into this scary, fearful thing, then that means I can do other things that I'm scared of, or that I'm unsure of, or have uncertainty around, right? Okay, number 5, do something new, okay? And what do I mean by doing something new is that you don't have to make crazy changes like I am right now, but doing new things creates new neural pathways in the brain. So anything new and unfamiliar to the brain will get it out of its normal thought patterns and processes that are keeping you stuck and stagnant and like in this funk. So it could be as simple as like taking a different route on your way to work in the morning, or brushing your teeth with the opposite hand, with like your left hand if you're a righty. It could be reading a new book, trying something new at your work or in your classes, or trying something new to eat at a restaurant, or doing a different type of workout, trying a completely new workout class. Like anything that is new that you have never done before will stimulate the brain in a way that you might not even be consciously aware of, but it is very powerful. And I think a lot of us stay really stuck and we stay in this funk is because we are doing the same thing. We're thinking the same thoughts. We're doing the exact same thing every single day. And that will limit us to continuing to feel and have the same thoughts that we have every single day. So huge tip is just to do something new or unfamiliar to the brain that will get it out of its normal thought process and normal thinking patterns, so that you can ultimately get to your best glow up, your best spark, your best feeling. That is so huge.